Because the video it will be in our channel. Start the video, start now.
You understand? No, no, don't worry. But going back to our conversation, Christianity didn't reach us organically.
They don't have a
Yeah, this is by force.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't have I don't question the past because it was beyond our control.
Yeah.
But as there are certain values, a black person, regardless of where you are, America, Caribbeans, or Europe, or African countries, okay? Meaning African countries, the elites from those African countries who lost their roots, African roots. There are certain values we seek, okay? And we inherit this, we have that strive and in us, like our natural disposition is seeking those values. One of them is freedom. Our ancestors were enslaved, but we have that thing, no, never, like we have a rebellious approach. There is no coincidence why we are a bit rebellious in school. We don't take very well that sense of authority. There is a reason behind, even though it's something that we just have a compulsory, like a composed thing against it.
Yeah, but the problem is we have a problem directing it.
How? Say again?
No, a problem directing it in a you know the rebelliousness.
Yeah.
It can be a bit too random with us. It's not directed like in a too precise a way.
I see.
What kind of mean is that what you'll find with us is that each person will be like individually angry and they'll just be doing their own thing. There won't be a sense of us trying to come together.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
Look, there are even theories where in the past where the slave masters would the methodologies of controlling your slaves, you know, and from those methodologies they used against us in order to control us, like cattle, or like the cattle, is to make us against each other, the tall against the short, the light skin against the dark skin, the woman against the man, you know, always like dividing us, not to be united, you know. And I believe personally we might inherit traumas of our ancestors. It's possible to inherit some traumas. So because of this, we have that sense of freedom is a value we don't compromise. Equality is another value we don't compromise. And justice is another big thing for us. So if we look based upon these values, three values I just described, if we look which religion, okay, in the mainstream religions has something to offer us as black people, look at the Mali Empire. I never heard Muslims where Mansa Musa was colonized by the Arabs, and he had to, all the natural resources in Mali, Timbuktu, had to be taken to the Arabian, none of it. Unlike the French and Mali relationship. And what did Timbuktu become? A center of knowledge, culture, science, civilization, and religion. You see, so as a black person, if I look back to the history, how what Islam brought to my people in comparison to what Christianity brought to my people, I see Islam more fit for my inclinations.
Right. So that what you said there about the way Islam was. Did you discover that after you became Muslim?
No, studies. I was on a journey to research, studying, reading. I was like a political activist.
Oh, just in Holland?
Portugal. I went back to Portugal. At the age of 13, 14, I went back to Portugal. So then my experience, my exposure again was different from Holland. Holland is a bit closer to the UK. I lived in like Rotterdam, Schiedam, that area, where it's very diverse. Suriname, Antilles, Caribbean, you know. But when it comes to the Portuguese, no. Again, a very controlled environment.
But I find it interesting that he's saying Portugal is so controlled, considering they're just across the little strait from Africa. Whereas Holland is all the way up the top.
But the Dutch have always been very liberal, historically even.
Yeah.
You know. So it's a lot to do that with their history. That's why I highlighted that it's based upon my personal experience and journey.
Yeah.
You know, you had your different experiences. There are some similarities. There's a lot of what I'm telling you, even though we're different generations, different environments, Portugal, Lisbon, London, or Rotterdam. There is things you can relate as a black person. Definitely, growing up in this environment. So from that context, which religion, like if I look at the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, where he said, all men are equal. You know, a white man is not superior to a black man, nor the black man is superior to the white man. The Arab is not better than the non-Arab. So these values are strongly, you know, emphasized. And then we have Malcolm X. You can't go wrong there. Malcolm X, even for you, he's seen as a hero, even though you're not a Muslim. For the black cause, in that context.
Well, not me, because of some of the stuff he says.
No, I'm not saying the racism, the nation of Islam, but his actions. Being like Mandela, he stood up for his people. He went to prison 20 plus years. He went through a lot of tortures, but he was someone who resisted the oppression. He fought for the rights of his people, the liberation of his people. Malcolm, maybe his methodology wasn't the best during a period of time, but the context is understandable if you look at his experience. His father was killed by KKK, his mother went to all of that experience. Of course, he didn't know anything good coming from the white Americans until he performed the pilgrimage. And what did he say? The famous letter from Mecca that was published by Times Magazine, Times News or something like this.
I haven't actually read it.
Come on, man.
No, I've seen one of the Darwin leaflets.
No, you have to read it yourself, research it. So then and Malcolm X saying, I see Islam as the solution for the black America, the social problems of America, the racial problems from America. So I start to get many answers. Even though, and again, one statement before I was a Muslim, I heard was, Islam is the solution for the problems of the black man.
Who was that?
Malcolm.
Oh.
So that also gonna stay somehow, okay, Malcolm was an intellectual, he wasn't an emotional guy. And of course, I'm not a racist guy or grew up racist. As I said, my godmother was white, you know, and I had people very close to me who were white, and I loved them. So it's impossible to be a racist. But I was a confident black young male who was comfortable with his color. You know, I don't have to feel shy because I'm black, you know. So these experiences are, of course, going to influence the way you come, or the way you will evaluate Islam as a religion. That Mansa Musa was the richest man in the history known in the history of mankind. Mansa Musa, you know, and what he done as an individual, you know, is like building educational constitutions such as the universities in Mali, learning centers, the level of literacy unmatched in Europe. Manuscripts, the place on earth with the most manuscripts. So if I look at what Islam brought to my people, wow. What the religion of Christianity that I was imposed gave my people, then I understand, but it's not the best.
Salat al-Asr Jama'ah starts.
I prayed Asr. Maghrib.
Sorry, Maghrib.
Oh, may Allah bless it. Yeah.
So how long you got?
No, I'm going to pray shortly.
Right.
So, you have any question?
Well,
Has to be brief, because God comes first. I believe we agree on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So do you want to just finish off, or do you want to come back after, or?
We can finish off.
Yeah, all right. So you were doing the research when you went back to Portugal into Islam.
Yeah, because of my political activism.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't something because of religion,
Right,
politics,
right.
and then the black culture influence of America, because there isn't many communities we look up to as a black community in the West. Everyone goes back to the American culture because they survived somehow.
Oh right, yeah.
The black culture overcame became the pop culture.
Yeah.
That everyone looks up to. Even the white people in those environments look up to the black culture, the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
I'm a hip hop generation, not you as well. Early days.
Well, I was around when the hip hop started.
Yeah.
So because you know when Michael Jackson was a kid, that's more what I grew up with. You know, he was a little boy dancer.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I danced a bit. Don't worry. Even though they made it look like black kids don't dance, you have to be like a gangster, rough and tough. You know.
I don't know. So,
The culture, I mean, generations change. You know.
yeah. So when it comes to you coming to Islam,
Yeah.
was it like a So it's a gradual thing that you initiated rather than you doing what you're doing and then suddenly a Muslim comes and tries to convince you.
Yeah, I had my mind, or I've always been a very like strong-minded person who I'm not easily influenced by people.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very critical, and I might even dare to say very scientific. So my approach towards Islam wasn't emotional, but was based upon solid research and conclusions.
Right.
Yeah.
And so was it in Portugal where?
No, in England, London.
Okay.
Yeah. I came to England at the age of 20, 1920.
Okay, so it's quite a while that you've been looking into it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. Hope I answered your questions.
Okay,
Even though I didn't, but yeah. There's
So,
much more we can talk about next time. We can carry on this conversation
all right. Yeah.
sometime
Okay.
in the future.
Yeah.
All right,
All
nice
right.
one. Are you gonna use it? That's my question. Are you gonna use this content?
Yeah. It might be a few.
Okay.